Beer here back in the fantasy bar, 3 games on the playoff dock, and I've got 5 of my favorite DFS plays, including my favorite value play on the slate. It's almost free. A stud, I think, bounces back in a big way. My favorite bet of the night as well. And of course, my favorite overall play on the slate. Who is it? Belly up to the fantasy bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Tuesday edition Beers Daily Fantasy 6-Pack, talking NBA here once again tonight with 5 plays for you across both FanDuel and DraftKings. And, of course, my favorite bet of the night brought to you by our friends over at scoresandodds.com. Make sure you guys check out scoresandodds.com/beer for some special pricing. The link below the video, just click that, get signed up. Weekly, monthly, or yearly packages available. All right, guys, as we always start within the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That helps us out tremendously here. That's the tip jar in the fantasy bar. These videos are free. That's all I ask. Take a second, click that thumbs up button. You guys have been doing a great job with that, so thank you in advance. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Get notified when these videos are coming out. We're doing NBA and MLB each and every week, so get those notifications. Hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it here tonight. Again, 5 plays for you and my favorite bet coming up here shortly. So let's start with a stud I think bounces back tonight. That shooting guard, Devin Booker of Phoenix. So tough couple games for Devin Booker. If you're just looking at stats, you might shy away here. Don't do that. We know a lot of new players. That's what they want to do, is focus on the what have you done for me lately. Couple tough shooting nights for Devin Booker in LA, but coming back home, I think this is a big spot for Phoenix. We know a huge game here for both teams with this series, not at 2, but I think the studs really step up in this game. We saw Chris Paul kind of take the reins and step up for Phoenix. I think you're going to see vintage LeBron James tonight, especially if Anthony Davis isn't able to play, but I think Devin Booker going to be very important here as well. Been very good against the Lakers at home. We saw him struggle a little bit on the road against this team, but at home, averaging over 45 DraftKings points per game in 3 games against LA. So good bounce back spot here. Too good of a player. Do not shoot the ball well. I think he responds in a big way here, and price is very fair here on Devin Booker tonight against the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, let's go to Value Town here at point guard. We're going all the way down to 3,200 on DraftKings with Payton Pritchard of the Celtics. Now, anytime you're down in this area, obviously a little risky, no doubt, but Kemba Walker, doubtful here tonight. Says questionable. When you see that doubtful tag, likely not going to play tonight. And when you run the numbers in our Court IQ tool here on RotoGrinders, you're going to see, obviously, Jason Tatum gets a bump with no Kemba, Jaylen Brown, or Williams on the floor. But guess who's the second highest usage bump on the Celtics? That's right, it's Payton Pritchard at almost 4.5% over a pretty big sample size here. So I know the minutes have been a yo-yo, not exactly something we can count on, but he was a bright spot for them in that last game, and I don't see why they wouldn't continue to give this guy minutes. He's a guy that's used to the big stage here. I don't think he's going to shy away from the big spots here and the big shots. And at only 3,200, like we mentioned, and even 4,500 on FanDuel, that's really going to allow you to buy a Tatum, a Harden, get some of these studs in your lineup. Jokic, ton of guys that we can pay up for tonight. We need to find some value. Payton Pritchard will be very popular tonight, but a staple in cash game lineups and even in tournaments. A guy, even at some ownership here, a guy I want in a bunch of my lineups at these prices tonight against the Brooklyn Nets. All right, let's go back to Phoenix. Another play from the Suns I'm liking tonight. Small forward, power forward, Jae Crowder. So we know the name of the game with Jae Crowder is a guy that's going to do everything. We'll talk about that here in a second. But what I really like, we're getting an upwards arrow here. A nice trend line here for Jae Crowder. Minutes have been on the rise each and every game of this series. Along with the minutes, we know the production generally tends to follow, and that's what we've gotten with Jae Crowder, getting better and better each and every game. And again, a guy that doesn't necessarily have to score. He's going to hit every single category on the stat sheet. So whether it's a down game or not, you're going to get production out of Jae Crowder. And then if he is hitting that 3, if he is scoring, now we're set up for a 6, 7, 8x return in tournaments that we're looking for here. And also been a much better player at home. I know a lot of people don't like these home away trends, but this one, he's over 4 fantasy points better per game at home, shooting percentage better at home. So the numbers kind of speak for themselves here. Home game for Jae Crowder, a guy that can stuff the stat sheet, and under 5K on DraftKings. Sign me up for some Jae Crowder tonight against the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, let's go to our favorite bet of the night again. Guys, go and check out scoresandodds.com. DraftKings.com/beer. Tons of analytical information, trends for all the teams, can look at all the betting odds across a bunch of different sports books, and premium picks. If you just want to log in, get the best picks of the night, you're going to see that in a multitude of sports, not just NBA, across NHL, MLB, golf, all tons of picks there for you. Go and check it out, scoresandodds.com/beer. But my favorite bet of the night here, we're going to go over in the Portland and Denver game. So we look at that 226 number, and we look at this series. That's gone over in 3 of the first 4, and the only one that didn't go was game 4, where Denver kind of struggled a little bit, even hitting 100 points. 4 of the last 5 overall. So these are two teams we know can score and score very efficiently. We'll talk about that here in a second. But Denver really been on a run here with over. 7 of their last 10 games overall have gone over. And if we look at home games, same numbers there as well. 7 of the last 10 in Denver have gone over the number. And we talked about offensive efficiency. Both of these teams rank inside the top 7, and we've seen some massive scores out of both of these teams. You also get the bonus of Portland, 29th in defensive efficiency. So a team that doesn't play much defense over the course of the season here. 2 teams that can score. This number feels a little bit too low. Thought it would be around 228, 229. Gladly take it here at the over 226. My favorite bet of the night, Portland, Denver, over 226. Again, brought to you by our friends at scoresandodds.com. All right, let's get back to the DFS plays. Let's go back to Denver here. Small forward, power forward, Michael Porter Jr. So very similar to Devin Booker, but even more of a severe case here is Michael Porter had an absolutely horrific game 4, maybe his worst game of the season. So let's not let recency bias set in here on Michael Porter, a guy I definitely want to go back to the well to here. He's got to be that second scorer for this team behind Jokic. And you just look at the shot attempts, tells the story. 15 shots per game over the first 3 games, just 3 shots in that last game. So we know that game got away from them, didn't play a ton of minutes. I think he bounces back in a big way, as do the Denver Nuggets here. But the ceiling, what I really like about Michael Porter, we have to in GPPs find these guys in the mid-range that can drastically outproduce their prices, and he is one of those guys that can do that. There's a lot of mid-range guys are great for cash games. They're going to give you that floor you want. MPJ provides that ceiling that I want in tournaments. So definitely going back to the well here, under 7K on FanDuel and right at that 7K mark on DraftKings. Loving the prospects here for MPJ tonight against the Portland Trailblazers. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Tuesday night. But before we do that, guys, we want to continue our Beast of the Night contest. This is a thank you to you guys for hanging out in the fantasy bar, for hitting that thumbs up button, subscribing to the channel, and getting signed up for scoresandodds.com. All you have to do, get in the comment section below the video and guess fantasy points on DraftKings for my favorite play of the night. The closest guess is going to win themselves either a free 3-day pass to RotoGrinders Premium, chance to check everything out, including the Court IQ tool we reference all the time, or if you are already a loyal subscriber, we will send you a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. Let's wrap this baby up. My favorite play of the night in the NBA playoffs for Tuesday night. You know him as the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. We're going to go to the other side of that Denver-Portland game. Damian Lillard would be too easy. Obviously a phenomenal play. We're going to go down low with big man Yusuf Nurkic, tonight's Beast of the Night. So let's get into the numbers first. Nurkic, 41 or more DraftKings points down 3 of the last 5 games against Denver. Kind of been up and down. Some of the down games, okay, we write those off. I'm looking at the big games. I'm looking at the upside, and I'm looking at what this guy can do. Averaging a double-double so far over the first 4 games of this series. So the numbers are good. The prices are fair. Also get a little bit of beer gut. We don't talk about it a lot here on the show, but sometimes you get that gut feeling about a guy going to do well here tonight. So I'm adding that to the numbers he's already put up to this team. And I think a massive game is in store here for Yusuf Nurkic. Not the best matchup here, but a guy he knows well, an arena he knows well, and a matchup he's already thrived in quite a few times this season. I think Yusuf Nurkic set up for a monster night tonight, making him easily my favorite play on the board and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that wraps up here in the fantasy bar for Tuesday night. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tried to find some guys that weren't the obvious studs here tonight on the slate and leave you some room to spend some of the money on those studs. So again, thank you for stopping by and checking out the video. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget, fantasy points on DraftKings for Yusuf Nurkic for your shot at some RotoGrinders Premium, free of charge. Also, guys, again, going to go check out scoresandodds.com/beer, the link in the description right below the video. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Best of luck here tonight. We'll be back tomorrow talking MLB, so make sure you come and check that out. Thank you for watching. Good luck, and we'll see you.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist